today's 3-Minute Mentor, we're going to talk about a question I get a lot. How do you escalate someone? Well, first of all, congratulations. If you're asking this question, you really want to learn one of the critical management and leadership skills you're going to have in your career, because you're just not going to get on with everybody. But to do this right, you have to ask yourself 3 questions. What can I escalate? How should I escalate? And how can I stop it going wrong? So let's start with the first of those. What can you escalate? It's important that you escalate decisions and not people. When you escalate, it should be based on input or content that they missed when they made their decision. Maybe they did the analysis wrong, or your analysis produces a different result. But at the end of the day, make it on the facts and the decision. If it's about judgment and it's yours versus theirs, it's going to be really hard to make an escalation work. A good management team will respect the need for escalation and will be keen to help you in that escalation if you do it right. So, how do you do it right? Well, here are the steps I suggest you go through. First of all, tell the other party in this that you disagree is the first thing to do. And then try and find somebody else, another colleague, to mediate between you. If at the end of that mediation you still can't resolve the problem, then suggest that you both go to the higher authority for help. If the person you're dealing with refuses, then tell them you're going to do it. But tell them you're going to do it, don't let it be a surprise to them later. When you get to the higher authority, present your case, your facts, your figures, and your analysis in an unemotional, factual way. If you do this, you'll probably find you succeed. And in some cases, you'll fail for very many different reasons. And if you do, then you should consider if you want to escalate even higher again. And maybe that's a subject for another show. Finally, what can go wrong when you escalate? Believe it or not, the number one thing that makes people fail in escalation is because they make it personal. They make it about them versus the other person, not about the business decision. In most circumstances, don't escalate if a procedure was not followed. Now, that's assuming the outcome was right and the procedure wouldn't have made a difference. That's clearly not true if it's a legal medical issue, but most people don't care about procedures, they care about outputs. Try to avoid using your own source of data to prove a point. One of the things that really annoys people is when someone withdraws a piece of data at the last minute and says, hey, if you'd had this fact, then you'd know I was right. A good manager is going to say, why didn't you give that fact to the person doing the analysis in the first place? At the end of the day, you're probably going to find a manager is going to be very supportive, but sometimes you find one that can't cope with escalation and can't cope with conflict, and that's another problem. Look, the bottom line here is that in business you are going to need to escalate decisions, but make sure it's about the business and what's right for the company, not just what's right for you.